Yo, welcome back to the show. It's your boy Mo, the White Crip.
Most street dudes who join gangs are usually born into the environment and just trying to survive, which is what makes the story of Cameron Terrell so crazy. He was born into a millionaire family and drove a brand new Benz in high school, but he decided to link up with one of the wildest gangs in South Central and ended up catching a murder charge. If you want to talk about gangbanging in America, you gotta start with South Central. Stanley Tukey Williams and Raymond Lee Washington linked up back in 1969 to combine their crew.
They are jacked. See, you don't see no gang members looking like this nowadays. Niggas just skinny tone pose. Bro, them niggas was bodybuilders back in the day. Yeah, bruh. Niggas was trying to put hands on you. See, to be a gangbanger back then, you actually had to be tough, bruh. Not just have a gun.
Stanley Tukey Williams and Raymond Lee Washington linked up back in 1969 to combine their crews and start the Crips. And by 1978, there was already 45 sets in Los Angeles. The Crips ran the streets and were putting pressure on everyone. There was other gangs like the West Side Power Rules, Black P Stones, and others, but none of them were as deep as the Crips back then. They had taken over all of South Central and no one could touch them. But that all changed after two brutal murders. In March 1972, 20 Crips beat a dude named Robert Ballou Jr. to death over a leather jacket. Then a couple months later, the Crips killed an op named Frederick Garrett. The back-to-back murders made everyone realize something had to change, and that's when a bunch of local crews linked up to form the Bloods. South Central became one of the most dangerous places in America. People were getting shot, beaten, and stabbed all the time. But just 30 minutes away is one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in California. Palos Verdes is a neighborhood right on the coast that's full of million-dollar mansions and exotic cars, and that's where Cameron Terrell grew up. His dad is the president of a media company, and his mom was an interior designer working with other millionaire clients. They took family vacations all over the world, hung out with other rich people, and were basically living the dream. But even though he had it all, Cameron wasn't happy with his home life and started running away.
Dog, this nigga actually looks black. That's crazy.
Cameron wasn't happy with his home life and started running away as a kid. Cameron ended up chilling in South Central and making a friend there. He'd stay with them anytime he left home, and even referred to his friend's mother as mom. Nobody understood why a rich white kid driving a Benz was coming to South Central to chill, but what happened next was even more shocking. Cameron's homie got put on with the Rollin 90s neighborhood Crips, and Cameron ended up repping them too. He was the son of millionaires who could have been doing anything, but Cameron decided to hop in the trenches and allegedly got active right from the jump. He started rocking blue bandanas, throwing up Crip signs, and even got a Washington Nationals logo tattooed on his chest.
What if in his mind he was like, oh, I got the bond money, I'll just bond out if I do anything. I hope he wasn't that stupid, bro.
Throwing up Crip signs, and even got a Washington Nationals logo tattooed on his chest. The logo is affiliated with the Rollin 90s because Western Ave is one of the main roads in their hood. In September 2017, Cameron even showed up in the music video for a collab track between a bunch of neighborhood Crips called NH Anthem. Cameron rocking with the Rollin 90s turned a lot of heads in South Central, but nobody on the outside was paying attention. Then, just a month after the NH Anthem video dropped, he got caught up in a murder case that made headlines everywhere. On October 1st, 2017, Cameron and two of his homies slid through A-Tray Crip territory. The Rollin 90s and A-Tray's hoods are right next to each other, and they've been at war for decades. It all started back in 1979 when a Rollin 60 Crip started beefing with an A-Tray gangster over a girl. It's not clear exactly how everything went down, but it sparked a war that's still going on today. The Rollin 90s fall under the same umbrella as the Rollin 60s, so the A-Trays became some of their biggest ops too. Justin Holmes was a 21-year-old college student with no gang affiliations. He had a day off from work on October 1st, and he was walking to a homie's house with his friends that morning. Cameron was driving his dad's Benz on the 7800 block of Southwestern Avenue, and that's when the other two dudes hopped out and pressed Holmes. His homies ran away, and Cameron's homies asked Holmes where he was from. Holmes told them he didn't gangbang, and that's when one of them pulled a burner and killed him broad day. They ran straight back to the whip, and Cameron sped off from the scene. Cameron's Benz was caught on video next to where the shooting went down, and it didn't take long for the cops to catch him and the two other dudes. They were all booked on murder charges, but Cameron is the only one who was given bail.
I knew it, bro. Damn.
All booked on murder charges, but Cameron is the only one who was given bail. The judge set the bond at $5 million, but his family's pockets are so deep that they was able to get him out in less than a week. The case was already making headlines everywhere, but when Cameron bonded out and went back to his school in Palos Verdes, the situation got even crazier. While his homies were kept behind bars, Cameron was let out and went back to his normal life like nothing happened. He was even spotted at a World Series game at Dodger Stadium right after Holmes was murdered. Eventually, a school made him finish studying off campus after a group of parents wrote to the school board and said that Cameron was a clear and present danger to other students. A lot of people said Cameron was getting off easy because he was white and came from a rich family, while his two friends were both black kids from South Central who were kept in jail. When the trial started, a lot of people thought Cameron would go down for sure. He pleaded not guilty, but he even admitted that he was the getaway driver. Obviously, Cameron's parents cashed out big racks to get him the best lawyer they could, and during the trial, he argued that Cameron had no idea his homies were gonna shoot Holmes. Cameron's legal team said he would have never taken his dad's whip if he knew they was gonna kill someone, and his lawyer claimed that Cameron was terrified when he heard gunshots and didn't have any other option but to help the dudes get away. The prosecution clapped back and said Cameron knew they was sliding in op territory for a reason and that he was trying to get more clout in the Rollin 90s by getting deeper in the streets. They showed the jury photos of Cameron throwing up gang signs and wearing blue. Plus, there was a video he allegedly took where another Crip kicked over the candles at Justin Holmes' memorial. They also brought up Cameron's Washington Nationals logo on his chest, which was the clearest sign he repped the Rollin 90s. But his lawyer said he only got the tattoo because Kevin Durant has one like it and he's Cameron's favorite player. Everyone was watching how the trial played out, and the jury had to deliberate for 10 days before they made a decision. And when they finally announced the verdict, the case blew up even more in the news. Cameron was found not guilty and dodged all the charges. After the trial, Cameron told everyone that he didn't have to explain himself to anyone because he knows what really happened that day. But most people say his whole story is cap. Nobody forced Cameron to start chilling with the Rollin 90s Crips. According to some reports, he was always into gang life and read books about it before he ever went to South Central, and locals there say he was the one who had the power. A dad of one of his co-defendants said that Cameron was the only one who had options in life, so even if he wasn't the shooter, he was still responsible for what happened. Both of Cameron's co-defendants were minors when the shooting went down, and a lot of people think he's the reason they were even there. He showed up driving a new Benz, wearing fresh clothes, and flexing his family's money, so it made sense that all the inner city kids would want to chill with him. It's not clear what happened to the kids who got booked with Cameron. Since they was both minors, the details were never released to the public, but rumors say Cameron flipped on them and told the cops everything. The rumors were never confirmed, but people everywhere say Cameron only beat the case because he was a rich kid from a good neighborhood. And a year later, he ended up getting arrested again. In 2019, the cops booked him for a carjacking that he was allegedly involved in a few months before Justin Holmes was killed. Cameron's lawyer said that the cops were only going after him because they couldn't make the murder case stick. It's not clear what happened with the carjacking case because Cameron was a minor when it allegedly went down, but it don't seem like he ever did any time for it. After he beat the murder case, Cameron wanted to go study law in Houston, but nobody really knows what he's doing now.
Hey, that was a good video. Interesting story. But I called it though. That's crazy, man. I'm not gonna cap. He was the getaway driver. But hey, he knew that bond money was good. Them pockets deep, boy. Deep. Shoot the like button.